Good evening, everybody, and thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to call the meeting to order, first of all, and we'll start with a roll call. Let's start with the folks who are dialing in by Zoom.
Hi, it's Angela Achu. Nicole Ethier.
Laura DiDio.
And Justin Wood is here.
And Will Blake from the town.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. So Craig Dauphiné cannot join us because he is at the library with Mark Alimo. They are having it's an open mic question, ask us anything. I am not sure. Carl said he planned to attend by Zoom, and I had not heard anything from Sean. So, but we now have a quorum.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first order of business is, of course, let's further the discussion of the EDC meeting. I'm not sure, Angela or Nicole, if you saw that what I had said a few weeks back, that after looking, searching for what dates we could get, I know we didn't want to go into November, but the only time we could get the library was the first November 4th. A lot of other things were, booked for October, the month of October, so it wasn't gonna work. So I didn't think November 4th, all things considered, was bad. So the good news is we have the Grafton Public Library, the big room for the event, so that will hold up to 125 people. So what I'd like to do tonight is firm up some of the logistics, including, who we'd like to do the catering. I mean, it's gonna be, simple, sandwiches, some cookies, maybe some pizza, etc. So I guess, I'd like to get everyone's input. Angela, do you wanna start?
I was thinking about Bushel and Peck. So local business offers catering such as what you described,
Yes.
and they're close to the library.
Yes, I thought the same. Nicole, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and whenever I've actually gotten catering from Bushel and Peck, the food has been great and super easy because they deliver it for you and set it up, and it's awesome.
Yeah, which is going to be a big deal, by the way, because one thing that I heard from the folks at the library was we have to, we'll have to set up ourselves. So so if they can come in at 5 to set up, put the food, drinks out, I think I can go and get bottles of, the 24 packs of water, which is cheaper, by the way, the Poland Spring stuff. You can get that for $3.99. There's no sense in paying triple the price. Right. I can get that, and then if Bushel and Peck would have the paper plates, the napkins, and things like that, that would be good. We have a hard stop at ending the meeting at 7:30 because the library closes at 8.
Oh, I thought I meant tonight's meeting, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. The business, the meet and greet at about 7:30 because the library closes at 8, and we'll have to clean up ourselves, which just means, pushing chairs back and getting rid of this stuff.
So, I will say, I have a kind of a preference on doing pizza because, in my mind, sandwiches generally are a form of meat of some sort generally. I don't know what Bushel and Peck necessarily does for the catering, but at least with pizza you have, if people are a vegetarian and don't eat meat at all, you get a few cheese, you can get a few pepperoni, and that's basically almost everyone likes at least those two. Not necessarily, and there's many businesses in town that serve pizza. They'll be generally open and available almost always at times. Sometimes Bushel and Peck I think closes earlier than our meeting times. I don't know what they do that day, but having Pepperoni Express, Lucky, usually very good to the town. There's Grafton Grill.
Bushel does pizza.
What's that?
Bushel does pizza. It's the square pizza.
You know what though, what's interesting, I actually agree with Justin, there's no reason we can't, we could have two people do it, we could have Pepperoni Express Lucky, who needs the business,
Yeah.
Now,
He's usually
and-
from town.
Express has changed hands.
they have?
Yes.
Oh, when did that happen?
About a month ago at a select board meeting, I believe.
Is it Lucky's family? I thought his child was taking over, but if
His
it's not,
son.
it's meant to someone else.
I believe
Someone-
it's somebody else.
Okay, then that's news to me too. I know Grafton Grill, which is on Bridge Street, also serves brick oven pizza. I don't know how big or what they would be able to support as far as our event. I know there's Grafton Pizza itself, which it doesn't do the delivery, but one of us can pick it up.
I think, and also in South Grafton, you have Fancy's House of
Yes,
Pizza, but there's no
Fancy's.
reason we couldn't do some sandwiches, and I know Bushel and Peck would have some vegetarian wraps.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
catered from Bushel and Peck for events at Town Hall before.
Yes.
And have had no issue getting
Yeah.
vegetarian options.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
also getting a pizza option from from somebody else, just to let somebody else in there.
Yeah, that would be supportive in my mind. And
What does everybody think of, and that also allows us to mix things up a bit if we have two people, and given that we're not paying for the venue itself, which is a big deal, you know,
and if, let's say, the pizza place or even Bushel and Peck isn't providing plates and napkins, those are relatively cheap to pick up from a
Yeah.
store, and you
Yeah.
get a bunch of paper plates, a bunch of
Yeah.
napkins.
but yeah, I absolutely like the idea of, getting one of our pizza vendors in there so that they know we're here, hey, this is what we're doing, and also Bushel and Peck, because they are close and convenient, and everybody likes Bushel and Peck, and, perhaps since we've done it before, William, they can give us a break. I mean, cause I know if I just go in as, Jane Doe consumer, some of the prices are high, but I would imagine if they're catering something, you get some deals and stuff.
I can't speak to that or guarantee it, but we can certainly look into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can call up and ask, or,
I think
you know.
any business we choose might offer us a deal because it's it's an economic development event that we're putting on.
Yes.
But I also think we should not expect any business at all to provide us a deal. That's my
no, but it's,
I just want to say that out loud.
yes, no, I agree, but, hey, it never hurts to ask.
Right.
They're gonna be at an event where their businesses will be showcased to other businesses.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's good. Okay, so, are we agreed on that?
Yes.
Okay, terrific.
So, to ask who's going to take point on contacting the businesses and arranging the food options for that night.
Okay, so,
Just
I'm happy to call Bushel and Peck or or a pizza place, and then somebody else could call if they want, or I could call both. What does everybody think? I'm flexible.
my gut feeling is it makes sense for one of us and or William to be on point for the entirety of that, food option planning for the event, rather than, trying to split it up. It doesn't, just feels easier to have one point of contact from our group. So I'm happy if you want to do it, or if you want, or if William wants to do it. But even though he's gonna be gone for that event.
Whatever
Uh,
the committee likes, I'm happy
Okay,
to
I
do
can
it.
work with you on that, because I probably have more free time during the day having my own business. If you're out doing something, or Angela's on a call, or whatever, Carl is at the home field, that might be more difficult. So I can work with William, cause we can get each other pretty easily.
Works for me.
Okay, so, William, the last time we were here, last month, you were talking about getting potentially a speaker,
Yes.
and you hadn't heard back from
So I had sent the Executive Office of Economic Development 2 emails, and I have not received a response. I had the thought today of going through MMA, the Mass Municipal Association, because they're the ones who organized the event that I saw EOED at. So I sent our contact there an email this afternoon, and she's typically pretty good about getting back to me, so she'll either be able to point me in the right direction or hopefully give some insight of, they don't do that.
Nice. Okay. Because we're gonna be tight with time, we don't want to have too many speakers, so if they can't do it, that's okay. I mean, obviously, I would expect that we would get up during this and, just give people a brief overview. I'm putting together the PowerPoint presentation, and I will send out the draft copy to all of you by the end of the week. So that way, you can mark it up, suggest, or put in another, suggest a slide that you'd like to see if I don't do it. But essentially, we're gonna be pretty straightforward. We're gonna give them background and demographics on Grafton with links to our website, on the Town of Grafton homepage, and basically say, look, we've got approximately 350 businesses in town. Here are the biggest ones. We have a lot of small businesses, and we are trying to jumpstart development, and then talk about our mission and communicate the feedback that we received during our business event in the spring, which was they'd like us to help them out with, cross-pollination, how can they promote their businesses, and we can talk about some of the initiatives that we have extant, which is essentially, hey, let's populate our webpage. Let's try and do some highlights for anybody who's interested on spotlighting these people, open to all. And also, solicit feedback from them. I thought it might be interesting when we send this out, and it's gonna be a lot of fun because, of course, as you know, even if we make phone calls, do outreach by email, have stuff on the webpage, a lot of people just forget about responding and RSVPing. So, ask people if they could bring, some business cards. We could put that in a bowl or something. So that was my thought there, but I wanted to get the PowerPoint presentation firmed up and done between now and our next meeting. Okay, which would, if we go for the third week in October, we're looking at, let's see, the 15th. That would be October 15th.
I'm sorry, are we not talking about the next meeting date?
Yeah. So that would be October 15th, and that gives us almost 3 weeks before the November 4th date. So, again, we don't want to overwhelm them because we're gonna be tight on time, but I think we want to give them that presentation, so we have a little bit more of a framework, say, hey, here's what we've done since we met with you last, et cetera.
So just if I can go back to one thing real quick.
Absolutely.
You said you were going to send the PowerPoint out to the committee and have them send you notes back, correct?
Yes.
So I would just caution the members of the EDC that if you do send feedback, you only send it to Laura. Don't respond all, because that is deliberation and a violation of the open meeting law. If it just goes to her, it is okay. But just some of the email communication, we need to make sure it's
Yeah.
Sure.
one-on-one and not to everybody.
Yes,
On
no.
a sudden thought, Will, doesn't it, I could be wrong on this, doesn't it still count if Laura, as one person is still talking in a sense with multiple members of the committee that make up a full quorum in and of itself?
I haven't found a really clear answer on that. I think since Laura is the chair, there is some leeway, as I understand it.
Okay.
However, if the commission is uncomfortable with it, I'm happy to receive all of the feedback, collate it, and then send it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I
that gets around the deliberation in its
That-
entirety.
That's probably, I'd feel safer with that regarding open meeting law, but I'm just one person.
well, I always say err on the side of caution, okay? So even if there wasn't an issue about deliberation
Yep.
and violating, potentially violating a bylaw, you don't want everybody, all the cooks to put stuff in the broth. So it's good to have one focal point feedback. We can put the things in, and then at the next meeting on October 15th, we'll have a mock-up, and we can then decide, here's what we're keeping, here's what we're putting out, and by the way, we all know how this works. Especially, somebody like yourself, Angela, who's a lawyer. Oh, we have to put this in, oh, we forgot that, or maybe it's a good idea, so we'll have,
Right.
yeah, we'll have plenty of time, and we'll make it look good, spruce it up with the graphics. Where we will need your help, William, is the, actual PowerPoint presentation to get the Grafton, town of Grafton green colors and
Yep.
seal on there so that it, it looks pretty. I mean, I have my business, but that's not gonna do anybody any good to have it on mine,
My only comment on the date for our next meetings, me personally, is I'm going to be in effectively work meetings from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. every day that week.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be burned out and not able to come in terms of my own ability for that night. But I think at the very least, if I'm not going to be able to come, I can have a letter sent like through William or you, Laura, just
Yeah.
that can be shared with the committee and be part of the open record.
Yeah.
If I have comments, but.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I'd rather hear this now, so we
Yep.
we know what's up, rather than not hear from people.
I'll be able to, if I'm not coming, I'll be able to say I'm not coming. That much is
Yes.
sure as well.
Okay, well, no, that's helpful. So I think we're good here, in terms of, we'll wait for William to see if he gets any feedback and input to have a potential speaker. Otherwise, it'll just be us, which I think will be fine in any event, given the time slot.
Yep.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Nicole? Angela?
Oh, are we doing any
No,
beer
I
or
don't.
wine?
Okay.
Okay.
Are we doing any beer or wine?
No, we decided we
No.
Okay.
wouldn't do that, so it will be sodas, juices, and water.
Got it.
I'll just say for the feedback on the PowerPoint, if everybody could get me their thoughts by the 10th of October, that should give me plenty of time to get it all
Yeah.
collated.
I'll get you a mock-up of the PowerPoint, what I have so far.
Okay.
We don't need, it does not have to be elaborate. Again, we're looking at maybe 10 to 12 slides, including the front slide and the last slide, which has contact information and our names and et
Yep.
cetera. So, just so that, we have a handout for them.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a
Nice.
lot of people who are new businesses in town,
Yes.
that don't know, that don't know anything, so it would be great. And then, I guess, how are we doing on the progress of, we're gonna have to update the business list that we had, the 350 businesses. That's online, correct?
Correct.
Do we have
Well,
to,
not all 350
Yes.
businesses are on there, just the ones who have requested to be on there. are
Okay.
on there. There's
I think that's something we could talk about in the meeting. Say, by the way, if you don't know already, we have this list of businesses online for people to search. They're looking for someone
Yeah.
specifically. If you'd like to be on it,
and we can have that as a slide on the PowerPoint.
yeah,
For informational things, because the main thing is, we want people to know that, oh, guess what, we're out here, we're a resource for you, we'd like to help you, we'd like you to help us, etc. So, hey, we're here.
The only other thing I can think of that might be interesting or neat to have people do is if they are a new business open less than a year, do they want to give their elevator pitch of their new business? Like, hey, I'm a new business, I opened 9 months ago, here's my business, here's what I do, da-da-da. Just to like highlight some new businesses, I don't know.
The only thing about that, I think it's a good idea. The only thing I worry about is that, and I'm guilty of this too, when you put me in front of a microphone or in front of people and I can talk, so you don't want somebody to get up there and talk for 15 or 20 minutes and then you get more people and then the next thing it's time to leave. So that's my only concern. Most
Tell people they have 30 seconds to give us their elevator pitch.
a minute, you know.
And
Yeah.
the button that plays the Oscar music.
It didn't work
Plays
with the
more right
Emmys where they were going overtime and hurting kids.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I mean, I think that's a great point and something that we could put on. I don't know if we wanted to do a sign-up form again, but we could throw it on there. Have you been open less than a year? Yes. Would you like the opportunity to talk about your business? Yes, no. And then pick, if 5 people say
Yeah.
yes, pick 2 or something like that.
Because the last one, there was probably, 3 or 4, like, brand new businesses.
Yes. We had that.
Canine Solutions.
The Canine
the
Solutions.
Tree cutting.
Yes.
I forget who else. Oh, Hub.
HubSpot Nutrition.
HubSpot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nutrition. I
That-
think those were the 3 like
yeah.
brand new
And
businesses.
There's also Val's Corner Cafe now.
Oh right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard
Which
a lot
is,
of good things.
I've heard
about
it. Yeah. I mean,
I went
people.
there today actually. It was very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people. That's going great guns.
Well, I ended up using Canine Solutions.
I know.
Rocky this summer twice. She was great. She was awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of using her too. If I, because sometimes I have to go out of town for overnight, and I don't want to necessarily, put my
Yeah.
my dog into the kennel. So if somebody can come in, let him out. I already have the food made up. They can just go in the refrigerator, take it out. Yeah, it's great. She's going to do very well.
But it was like a perfect kind of. I met her at that.
Yes, yeah. Everybody was taking her card. Weren't you, Angela, as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody who has pets, the wonderful life of the American dog or cat. I know.
Sometimes they live better than me.
Okay, so is there anything else we'd like to talk about that we need to discuss for the fall business event right now?
It sounds like we're gonna allow people, if they wanna get up and give their 2 to 3 minute elevator pitch on their business. It sounds like that we have a consensus on that, so maybe we include, a little quip or something about that in our invite. Because
Yep.
we did experience that at the last meeting, that people did wanna share about their businesses, so it was great. We did that like round circle style, but this would be nice to give people an opportunity to be able to stand and give that 2 to 3 minute pitch. I
Yep.
think that would be great.
Okay, great, so we'll include that in the invite. Okay,
And maybe we just let them sign up, Laura, as they come in. Like I'm happy to create like a sign-in sheet and be the timer for that. Like, just kindly like I can just like let people know I'll hold up a card and give them, the warning at 2 minutes and then the cutoff at 3.
yeah, no, I think that's great. I love the idea that you want to do that.
Yes. Yep. No problem.
Okay. Anything else?
Just
We're
to,
going to submit the flyer. We're going to submit that to All Things Grafton. That seemed to that's how we
Yes.
ended up generating a lot of interest.
Yeah, this, everybody is on All Things Grafton Ready,
Grafton Informed.
Grafton Informed. I mean, people,
I think all of those, plus sharing on all of our personal social medias, like help boost it.
yes. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
When-
so if we can have a PDF to,
And I think there
By
is
next
a not insignificant portion of people in Grafton that are on, I think, like next door for particular neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So I joined next door. I'm not in any of those neighborhoods, so I didn't see those actual activities. But it's if we know someone that is in one of the active neighborhoods of that uses next door,
Yeah,
that would be good to.
my neighborhood's pretty active in there, and I have an account on Nextdoor. I could definitely share it on there.
yeah, okay, that's terrific. Okay,
Do we have one person, do we have one person in our group who wouldn't mind taking the lead to do all things Grafton, Grafton Informed, and Nextdoor?
I can do it.
Thank you.
okay. All right, terrific. All right. Moving on to item 3, initiatives and guest speakers. Unfortunately, Carl is not here tonight. He was trying to enlist Brian Bouvier from the Marlboro EDC about that for the December or January issue. We know, William, you've already said you hadn't heard back from the Mass EDC, but you've reached out to MMA, so I don't know, all I can do, I guess we'll just have to wait until we have our next meeting to see if Carl has made any progress. So, moving on to item number 4, Nicole, that's you, the proposal, did you have any more info
No.
on creating the Grafton Chamber of Commerce?
No, I know Carl said he wanted to reach out to Jeannie Hebert at Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce and see if there was somehow we could operate a Grafton chamber under their umbrella. I'm thinking it's probably unlikely, but we can ask the question.
Okay,
So I don't know if, I haven't talked to him, I don't know if he's done that yet or not.
okay, so what are the rules? I wanna be very precise here, so can we reach out to Carl and say, do you have any update on this?
I think you
Or
as
no?
I would say you as
One
chair,
person
one
could.
person can. So
Okay.
you as chair can reach out to him, we'll get an update, and then that update can be, if it's, can be shared at our next meeting for sure.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if Carl, yeah, we can't do an update through an email.
I
don't
would
think.
just recommend if there's an update, making sure it gets shared at the next meeting.
Yeah, so
So
we can reach out to him and say, Carl, sorry you couldn't make it.
Yep.
But please, can you provide us an update on these 2 issues?
Yeah, just in case you can't make it next meeting or whatever.
Yes. Okay, so that's good. So we have to move on from this because we don't really have much to say. Does anybody have any other business or any topics that they would like to
So,
present or bring up?
so I did just think about something while I was sitting here, once I got in this building tonight.
Okay, yeah,
That it's probably more of a longer term idea and
Mhm.
thought that I don't remember if Grafton ever utilized GCTV for any business spotlights, type of thing, like a short 15-30 minute segment with a business owner, possibly a how they at the start, or how their business runs, kind of a thing. Just taking like a handheld camera that GCTV owns, into a back room and doing basically a show on that.
Okay.
I don't. Again, I literally just thought of this idea as this might be interesting for
Okay.
to help business in Grafton. I know, even though people less and less use cable TV and switch to streaming, we still have our actual channels in town that people still watch.
Yeah,
Especially the.
but could we take those little spotlight videos and post them on,
The
I think
webs-
everything that is
are-
done is posted online. It would be the.
Yeah.
It would be the kind of thing that would probably benefit from somebody talking with the GCTV staff and at least seeing, like the. Is it still Bob DeTomas that runs GCTV?
Yes.
Bob
Yes.
and Bill.
Bob and Bill.
So 4 years ago, Jay Hunter was doing something called Business to Business, where it looks like he was going around town. Looks like there are 8 of them on the Grafton Community YouTube page. So it seems like something that has been done before and can be replicated.
You know, one of the things that strikes me, and I don't know if we can do this, but it might be interesting, because we have all these whiz kids at the high school, or even some of them at the middle school, if you really wanna get down to it,
Yeah.
but certainly at the high school, who might be interested in helping out here while we're doing it, and getting, because they sometimes get, I don't know if it's credit, but they get something, you know, when they help out at the, you know, volunteer at the elections.
Mhm.
So if we could enlist some of the kids to volunteer, and I mean, a lot of them are, you know, pretty good at it. They could operate the camera, they could, you know, make suggestions, and it would be good for them too, because I'm sure we have some communications and marketing, you know, budding marketing and content managers to
And
do.
okay, this is an idea I had, but I don't consider myself personable enough or have enough time to make it happen on my own. So it's just an idea I wanted to share out, and
Yeah,
know,
no,
someone wants to
it's a
follow
good,
it.
it's a good suggestion.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah, I like it too, you know, yeah, very helpful, thank you.
no problem.
Angela, how about you? Anything, any other business?
I don't.
Okay, the only thing, I do have one thing to say, and, we need to get better at communicating. I send out the agendas, ask for feedback, and I know everybody's busy, but, I have no idea who is coming or not coming, and that's problematic, so we just need to get better at RSVPing to these things. I understand people can't always show up, something happens, you know, life, work, etc. There's also, I mean, with the other boards, I mean, there's always gonna be conflicts with the boards, the number of boards that we
Yeah.
have. But, you know, Craig is is an invaluable member because he's on the select board, and he's a businessman, his wife has her business, the Grafton Country Store, so, I don't know, I just think it dilutes our efforts when people don't show up or communicate that they, you know, I mean, Craig did
Yeah.
get back to me, and I had already seen that he was doing the, open mic, Ask Us Anything
Yeah, so my,
with Mark Alimo, but I think we just have to do better at attendance, and I know this is something that Angela brought up a couple of meetings back as well.
so my take on it generally is, number one, we shouldn't have general, like if you send out the agenda, we shouldn't really make any discussion on, you know, oh, this is worded differently, or we need to add, you know, we can suggest adding an item, but beyond that, we really shouldn't be discussing, you know, what's on like an agenda in an email. That's part one. But the attendance, my general feeling is we should just assume everyone's going to make it, and if you can't make it, you should be communicating that.
Yes.
And then if there's people that routinely cannot make the meeting and are routinely missing, the chair or the committee should at least notify and mention to the appointing authority for that person. And in my case, it's planning board. If, you know, in Craig's case, it'd be, you know, select board. I think everyone else is also select board. I don't remember for sure, but just mention it.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Laura's hasn't made it for the last 6 meetings, and she's only told us she's not coming once.
I know.
You know, that kind of thing. So maybe we need to, you know, maybe it's worth, you know, double checking. Is she actually going to be making meetings? Do you want to appoint someone else? You know, what do we want to do? That's my general feeling, but yes, I agree, and I understand that things happen, but a couple of times in the past 3 or 4 months, I've been told by someone, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up, and then, you know, they all of a sudden the next day they said, oh, there was a birthday party, I forgot. Now how do you forget, you know? You can forget that, but at the same time, Oh, it's a birthday party. Okay, well, Laura, sorry, I forgot. I made a
Yeah.
commitment to whatever, or just made a commitment. Period. And I
Or,
can't make it.
or somebody tells me they're going to show up and then they don't show up. And
Yeah.
this can become very problematic if we need to vote on something
Yes.
and need a quorum. And the other thing is we have to be responsive to GCTV if we're going to continue to do the flexibility for the Zoom meetings. Cause
Yep.
I said to Bob today, hey, just wanted to let you know, I'm expecting this many people, but please know that if nobody was gonna show up, then I would make it an all Zoom meeting,
Yep.
et cetera, because we did have that issue going back to, I think it was June or July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I hate to be the heavy or the bad person here, but we need to do better as a group about communicating and then sticking to it. Obviously, if somebody says, hey, I'm gonna be here, but then, their car got a flat tire or there was a home emergency, we're not talking about
stuff
that.
happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. But I feel sometimes like I'm herding cats, so.
Yeah. And I'll reiterate my one opinion is even if no one in the committee is intending to be in the room, if we can't get the agenda amended before the clerk's office ends, my opinion is the room should still be open and available for the public. So Bill, again, my opinion, should still come in, should still have the meeting cast here, so if someone does have a question, they can use that because we advertise it as in the GCTV station.
Yes.
If we learn no one's going to be attending in person, or maybe only one person is, you want to make it all Zoom, you just send us an email and the clerks amend the agenda before the end of the day.
Yes.
That's
And I've been, ever since I made that one faux pas about 6 months ago, as Angela pointed out, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna make that mistake again with the 48-hour notice, so I try and get it in on the Friday before.
once it's in, like
Yes.
a simple change, which would be
Yes.
a meeting location change or something like that, can be done up until the last minute the clerk's office is open, as far as their timing is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Okay, well, that sounds good. So the only other thing that I wanted to ask of William, what is the status of, what is it, conference room A or conference room F?
Conference room F?
Yeah.
Conference room F is mostly done, so they're having issues with audio leveling.
Okay,
So basically, it's either blowing out the speakers and you're getting all of this snap, crackle, and pop every time you talk,
okay,
or it's coming in very low and faint. The audio engineer told us we had bad microphones, so we brought in a vendor to test out brand new microphones. The problem persisted. We tried a second set of brand new microphones, which we didn't pay for. They were on loan, thankfully. Problem still persisted. So the audio engineer and the vendor is coming back out at some point in the next probably 2 weeks to take a look at it and see if they can solve the leveling issue.
okay, so basically, we've been doing the right thing by having the meetings
Yes.
here. And I'm guessing, we'll do that for next month as well. Because of course the other issue is if we are going to do a hybrid Zoom meeting, we can't have a conflict. And there seem to be so many boards
Mhm.
and things, so we might be best, just staying here until further notice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. But I just figured, let me check.
Yep,
and see.
I unfortunately do not have a date for when it will be solved, but I know that Bob and his team are working on it.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Anybody else have anything?
I have
Yes.
one more question.
No, good.
The event in November. Since I'm gonna be posting on social media, do I need to create the new flyer, or is that something William is doing? I don't care either way. I can do it. I have Canva. I have an account. I can
If,
do it and show everyone next meeting.
if
Yeah.
you'd like to do it, I am A-okay with that.
I can do that.
Okay, terrific. All right, this is terrific. Angela, the only thing I would ask you is, can you get the minutes of the meeting out in the next couple of weeks so that we can get that to Carl, Craig, and Sean?
Yep, I can do that. I can work on that to get that out, and I can follow up with them too to let them know regarding attendance about what we just discussed. So I can do that and also just check in with them regarding that piece of it. Was starting as I was hearing you talk, Laura, I was thinking about in other committees that I'm in, you get an email just like what you're doing. There's an email, but there's like just a button that you click on that reserves, on your account, whether it's Gmail or Outlook, and it reminds you that you have this upcoming meeting. So I'll do that. I'll get the minutes out and I will check in with them regarding confirming for meetings. And I appreciate what Justin was sharing, just assuming assuming that people are going to attend, and I appreciate what you're also sharing, because we do need to have a level of certainty regarding if we're going to have a quorum or not.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, to your point, I get that button. I have that button enabled on my email, so it tells me reminder one day until the EDC meeting, and it's on the calendar. I have tried to make things easy. If you notice in in the email I sent out today, where I confirmed that it was going to be held at GCTV, I also put in the body of the email in 20-point font, here's the dial-in, because Sean asked me, oh, where's the dial-in info? I said, well, it's in the agenda. And
Yeah, I found it easily.
Yeah, but I figure, okay, let's make it really easy peasy for people, because, what if they don't open up the agenda? So I want to make it as transparent as possible.
Right.
Now there are other committees I'm on, for example, the Grafton Emergency Management Committee, and we don't have a meeting every month, and we have other initiatives, but they do more concrete and practical things. So for instance, I put on there, Kathy Cedarberg, she'll write grants. I've helped her, edit some of the things, do the verbiage, but we just did an initiative, that you could see, like sometimes we're getting equipment for the Grafton Fire Department, for the cardiac machines. We were able to use some grant money to get things for horses, if there's an emergency involving horses in town. We have things for other animals, so we got kits that are at the fire department. My point here is that our charter is not the same.
Right.
It's more amorphous, so it takes, more input, more, in terms of being creative, how can we help people? So that's why we need people to be here and, and participate. And again, I don't want to be the heavy. I know that things, happen, but I feel like I'm nagging here, poking people with a sharp, pointy stick.
If there's one thing I've learned in my life is getting people in one place at one time, regardless of what the issue is always like herding cats. It doesn't matter if it's part of their job and they're in the same building together. Getting them to the same room at the same time is...
I know. Well, I feel, and I know, Angela, you've been around for a while now, but we've had a lot of fits and starts, especially during COVID and then coming back together after COVID. And one of our goals has been to have a meeting every month, or at least 10 months out of the year. I know that we voted not to have it in July because we knew that was going to be a particularly, busy travel month. People are doing things, and that's okay.
Yep.
But if we want this to work, we just can't say, oh, we're taking 6 months off.
Mhm.
You know, I
Yeah,
think we're
of
at a
course.
I think that we're at a crucial time here. Because in terms of raising our visibility, seeing what we can do to jumpstart business in Grafton, and how we can help the businesses and how they can help us. So, I don't know, I'll get off my soapbox now, but, that was, I did wanna bring that up, because it's like, okay. And I know, Angela, you brought it up, and I was glad you brought it up 3 meetings ago.
Yeah, so I'll do that, Laura. I'll have, I'll get the minutes out to everybody, but I'll follow up with the folks that weren't with us tonight, just to give them a better appreciation of the need to do the RSVP. And I'll also ask them, and then, any of our other members, I'll just reach out individually to people and see if there's a preferred method for a reminder. So I can do that as the secretary for this group. So, for example, if people would like me to send them a text message just as a
Yes.
reminder, like I'm happy to volunteer to do that. I think our formal stance is, we've got the email, please respond to the email, but if it would help some people to get like a reminder via a text, an individual text from me, just saying, reminder, the meeting's on, we have you as confirmed, I'm happy to do that. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
think the takeaway from tonight is just, it would help to have a little more communication, like one-on-one, so we don't have any open meeting law violations. So I'm happy
Yes.
to take the lead in engaging with more of that one-on-one communication, and just getting some feedback to see what might work for some people personally.
okay, yeah, terrific. I mean, I think we went around, I think we did a good job of saying, okay, Monday nights was particularly hectic for people
Correct.
because of things, so we settled on Wednesday because it seems to be the least, the greatest common
Correct.
denominator. Obviously, we weren't gonna have it on a Friday or Saturday night or anything like that, so, I mean, I think this is the best we can do, and then having it here and being able to do the hybrid Zoom meeting gives people flexibility. I mean, especially if you're doing something, if you're showing a house, or you're driving in from Boston,
Yeah. Thank you.
It helps. So this is, I think, the best solution we can hope for right now. So we just, as I said, we just need to get better at communication. And William's been wonderful. I appreciate all the help William has been giving us.
Happy to help.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's great. I'm sorry you're not gonna be at the event, but we don't want you flying back from Australia, from Oz,
Yeah, no,
to
she'd kill
join
me.
us. Yeah,
Thank you, Laura, for your leadership. Thank you for all that you've been doing. It's next month, October, will make a year, since we've had these roles. So thank you so much, and we greatly, as you said, greatly appreciate William coming and participating in our meetings and in his role for the town. So that's a huge help. And we're edging our way. We're definitely making some improvements. So I
Yep.
think, the takeaway from tonight is just some better communication, and I can take the lead on that as the secretary for the group. And we'll do that. And I think you've done an excellent job, Laura, getting us into the GCTV room. We've got the hybrid ability, which has been a huge help.
Yes.
Having the third Wednesday of every month has been great for consistency. And then, like you said, there are times, just like we had in July, where we take a group vote, and we did. So we're definitely making progress, but I appreciate that there's room for improvement, and I can do my part to help with that. And I think it's the communication.
yeah, thank you so much, and, right back at you, because you have been a terrific secretary here, and everybody here has been good. I mean, I appreciate everybody's input. We have a very good group, all of whom we're in consensus on, let's get this thing rolling, and let's do some practical things, and, have it bi-directional.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's good. I mean, well, this group has been, very, very active. So, I appreciate that as well. So if there's nothing else, nobody has anything else, what we will do then is just, cause we're right at 8:01, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second, okay, third, fourth?
Yeah.
Okay,
All in
so-
favor, okay,
Aye.
I
I,
Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
So we're done. Thank you so much.